gentlemen, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. My name is Tanay Ol, and I'm an anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry veterans to come together to share their knowledge, ideas, thoughts, and best practices with one another, as well as with upcoming future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings of all our industry stalwarts. We hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leader interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone as they help us to identify, nurture, and work on trade secrets that have already proven a success formula for so many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge sharing community. We have one such corporate giant on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Shaik Asad Parwez. We welcome you on the show, sir, today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
He has more than 2 decades of experience in supply chain management, logistics, and warehousing operations. He possesses a proven track record of driving efficiency improvements, cost savings, and successful project execution. As an accomplished manager, he has showcased his ability to coordinate seamlessly with various organizational divisions, including planning, logistics, material management, and procurement. At present, he is giving his invaluable services to V-Guard Industries Limited in the capacity of its supply chain head, warehouse, and logistics. Sir, our first question for you today is, our viewers would like to know more about your career journey so far with important achievements, milestones, and decisive steps in your professional life.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Atul and Tanay, for this wonderful introduction. And first of all, I must say that Directors Institute is really doing a wonderful job. And it's really something which was missing, and you have brought in all your thought process is very good, and it is really going to be a beautiful platform where all industry leaders can share and share their thoughts. They can share their best practices, and it is going to be a wealth of information and ideas. Yeah. So just to brief you about myself, I have more than now 22 years of experience in supply chain. Like you said, I have worked in various capacities in planning, in warehouse and logistics, export, import, reverse logistics. So more procurement. So most of the aspects of supply chain I have already uh, handled. And so I started my career with Amway India Enterprises, which was mainly that was my first job after my MBA. So that there I got the exposure of all the departments. And from there, the journey of supply chain I took voluntarily, although I am a professional by qualification, a finance background. So I did my MBA in finance. But supply chain interested me the most during my internship with the Amway. And from there, I took on, actually, I like this subject, supply chain, because in supply chain, you cannot plan your day. It's always a new day for you. And whatever I plan that I will do this today, I never land up doing those things, but I do something else. So by the time I go home and try to recollect what I did, it is totally opposite to what I was supposed to do and what I actually did, because it's a firefighting game. One vehicle got stuck here and there, and the entire equation changes of the everybody's, right? So that's how it is. And in supply chain, I think it is a very interesting subject, and it is something where actually it directly you can impact the bottom line of any organization, right? So this is an area which, if you can manage it well, your cost, your services, it can be a game changer. Some of the organizations are known as best supply chain companies. Now you see with the advent of e-commerce and all these companies coming in, the people are talking about half an hour delivery, 1 hour delivery, all those things. So the expectation of people, actually, we supply chain guys are only increasing it day by day. So,
Yes, sir.
the supply chain is something which is very close to my heart, and I am in this profile or in this job because of the love of it, not by accident, because most of the supply chain professionals, they say that they landed by accident. But I took a conscious call. And in fact, if you see my career, I have worked in many organizations like Amway, which was into FMCG, products, which were home care products, stationery products, all those kind of products. Then I worked in 3M, where it was totally different product category, where it was more of automotive products, then home care, then stationery, then medical. Then I worked in company like Whirlpool, which was again a totally different product category.
Mm.
It was refrigerator and washing machine, all those things. Then I worked in company in Panasonic, Anchor Panasonic, which was into switches, switch gears, small items. Then I worked in Ariston, which was again water heater company, solar water heater, electric water heater. Now I am in Amway, so where I am now I am in VGuard, where
Mm.
again I am handling electrical, electronics, different 15 to 16 different product categories like air
Okay.
cooler, pumps. So actually, I changed my career knowingly because this profile. So being a supply chain guy, you should know how to handle different product categories. So
Correct.
now I can handle the smallest of the product as well as I can handle products very sophisticated products like a stethoscope, which the doctors uses, as well as I can handle medical equipments, big equipment like X-ray machines and all those kind of machines. Plus, I deliberately this did change my career so that at the end of it, I come out as a good supply chain professional and I have knowledge of handling because the nuances of handling different product categories will be different.
Mm.
So, so now I can say I can handle many variety of products in my job profile. Yeah.
Sir, as a supply chain professional, you've dealt with various areas like primary and secondary transportation, reverse logistics, and continuous process improvement. Can you provide examples of how you've optimized these areas in different roles?
Yeah, sure. This is actually being a supply chain guy. Our see, normally, if you see in any organization, you have a budget, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
where you match the budget. But a typical supply chain guy, we have to see how much we saved from the budget. So our so our KRA KPI goes the reverse way. So we have a budget, we know that,
Mm.
but end of the day, our capability is measured and how much I saved from the budget which I had already been given. So we should not be overshooting the budget. So most of the companies, our incentives are also designed like that. Okay. Yeah, so when I worked in a global organizations, so there they will give you a budget, which is a country level budget. So if you
Mm.
exceed that, so you will get 70% of your incentive. And if you are below that, you will get 130% of your incentive. So that is how they calculate it. So this has to be in the DNA of any supply chain guy, where
Mm.
he has to do something cost initiative exercise he has to do, right? So for primary transportation, if I put you some few 2 3 points on top of my mind, so what I did in my one of my organization where we used to send heavy items like
Mm.
chokes and ballast, which were very heavy. So those items, if you see, so every truck has a tonnage capacity, right? So trucks comes in 7 tons, 14 tons, 21 tons, like that. The capacity is there. So
Mm.
what we were doing prior to when I took this project, so we were having some volumetric product which we were sending in another truck, say 7 tonner truck. So it was going in 7 tonner trucks around those volumetric products. And for 14 tonners, we were using these heavy products. So heavy
Okay.
products, if when I was seeing it used to occupy say 2 or 3 feet of the vehicle only.
Okay.
So from the bottom, when we were placing it in the truck, when you're loading it, so in 2 3 feet only the total capacity was getting full. So
Mm.
entire upper area was totally vacant and it was like we were sending empty. Okay.
Mm.
So what I did, I merged these two. So what I told my team, in the bottom you put the heavy material and on top you put the volumetric material. So with a 21 tonner truck, what we did, we could say we could use the weight as well as the volume of the truck. So
Mm.
volume was 100% full, and that helped us because that way the cost, if you see of the freight,
Yeah.
so sending one truck and sending another truck, so that I merged into one truck, and the cost increase was very not with that much, maybe 25%. So that is a big saving that I could bring in to my organization. So that was a one very super project. I said I did it. And the other in primary transportation, what I did was most of the time, these negotiations in primary transportation, we do across the table. So we
Okay.
call the transporter, we will float RFQ, then we will have
Mm.
them come sit across us and we will do the negotiations. So here in one organization, we use a system called Ariba software. So
Mm.
Ariba is a SAP platform where we did the negotiation on that. So that is what happened. We gave timing to all the transporters. You log in into this time, and there would be bidding. So from point A to B, lane wise, we did the bidding, and they participated in that bidding. And with that, what happened? I did a reverse bidding. So I did not do take quotes from them. So I put a ceiling price, which was my present price. I put a ceiling in that, and I had a combination of new transporters as well as my existing transporters were working for me. So I went into that bidding, and to everybody's surprise, in one bidding where we did for Pan India, we got a benefit of around 3 crore. So from my existing cost, I brought it down by 3 crore in that financial year. So these are some of the things I did in primary transportation. And in secondary also, what I have done, like secondary transportation are actually the sales team will not wait. So they have the assumption they will put the order and they will expect the material gets delivered, right? So they are in that kind of hurry. So what we did, we sat with them, and most of the time we were saying PTL, like PTL means part truckload. So we were using these courier services for delivering the material. So I sat with the sales team, had a good discussion with them, and then we made a route map. So we made a route plan. So our vehicles, say so we will make design the route. Then from A, then it will go to B, C, D in the same lane. Okay. So we were loading the material in one truck of 6, 7 customers, and the vehicle was going in a milk run. So it will go deliver to one, then to B, then to C, then like that it was doing a milk run. So the cost of that vehicle was less compared to PTL, which is the part truckload service provider. So that one benefit we bought in. And secondly, I have introduced something called TMS, which is Transport Management System in my organization. So with that, what I am doing, I'm measuring the truck utilization. So whether it is primary or secondary, sometimes you send the material, so you don't know what is the capacity utilized of that vehicle.
Yeah.
It may be 60% full, 70% full, 80% full. So how do I equip the guy who's making that order to be 100% sure that the vehicle that he's sending is of the optimum utilization level, whether it may be in terms of weight or in terms of volume. So with the system, I enabled him to judge that, and whenever he's seeing when he's loading a truck, he's seeing that it is 80% full or say 70% full, so he will generate a request to the person and ask for more load. And then so that at least more than it, I have given them a target of 90% capacity utilization to the team internally. So because 100% again in Indian scenario, it is not possible. So 80% is which I have given them. And with that also, I am seeing a substantial saving coming out of it. Because if you send 2 vehicle of 50-50%, so you'll be sending 2 vehicle. But if you have send 1 vehicle of say 3 vehicle, if you send 50-50, 150 money, 150% materially you will go, because you have sent 3 vehicle of 50%. So what I did, if you send 2 vehicle of full capacity, so 80-80, even if you full capacity, it is 160%. So 1 vehicle, that way you would be saving the cost. So that is how in primary and secondary transportation, we have been able to generate a lot of benefits, savings coming out of it. So with a little bit of planning and cooperation, coordination with the team members, you can generate wonders. Similarly, for procurement also, I'm using Ariba as a software where I'm asking the people to come and bid on that platform, my vendors, and they can see their rating in that. So there's a beautiful system where you can see your rating. You give a code and you know your position, where you are at L1, L2, L3. So accordingly, you can change your bid again. So it's like you can go on and on until if you really want to get that contract. Yeah.
Yes.
So similarly, I asked about reverse logistics. So reverse logistics is very important for some of the organizations where we have warranty, guarantee, all those things. So there also I have put software and systems in place where my dealer distributor need not wait to send the material. He can directly raise a request to the contracted service provider, and they will come and pick up from his location and deliver to us. So that way, what is happening, we are also getting a full control of the entire material. So we know where it is not. So whether it has been picked, it has not been picked. So that's how I have been doing it. Yeah.
Great, sir. So you've been recognized as the transformational leader SCM manufacturing at the India Logistics and Supply Chain Awards.
Yeah.
What do you believe sets you apart as a transformational leader in this field?
See, transformational leadership, we all are doing transformation, and every word is going under transformation, right? Everything,
Mm.
like when maybe my generation has seen the most transformation.
Yes.
Yeah. So earlier we had this phone which we used to dial.
Yes, sir.
Then that CDMA phone, now mobile phone. So so many products we have seen. We used to, whenever we used to go on travel, we used to go with big cameras. Huh?
Correct.
Now with the smartphones and all those. So transformation is something which I believe is not just you do in your work. Transformation is something that you live the transformation. So as it says, the survival of the fittest. Like animals who transform, they survive. Who did
Yeah.
not transform, they got extinct. So transformation is something we have to live with it. And as far as the award that I got was mainly for in one organization where I joined. So there, what had happened, the supply chain as a department was not there. Okay, the activities of supply chain was, some part of it was handled by the plant guy, the manufacturing people. Some part of it was handled by the procurement guy,
Mm.
and some part of it was with the finance. So they were doing it. So when I was taken in this organization, my major role was to set up this entire supply chain department, which was in Ariston, recalled. So there I made this supply chain department where I set the structure also, because the structure was also missing. So I made the supply chain structure, and with that, so I introduced the SNOP process also, which was not there. So with SNOP process, what happened earlier, what the factory was producing as per their will, as per the availability of raw material. So they had an overall plan for the month. Okay, based on
Okay.
that, as per availability, they were at a liberty to make anything.
Mm.
But when I started this SNOP process, with that, what we started doing, we started collecting forecast from the market. Then we started measuring the plant performance, plant capacity, and we used to give them a week-wise schedule, what to make, not just what they want to make, but what
Mm.
we want them to make. Because that is how we would be able to cater the market in a very faster manner, right? So then we have started giving them a weekly schedule, and basis this weekly schedule, we were also measuring the raw material availability of as per those schedules. So those we were again sending the plan to the purchase team, the procurement team, so that
Mm.
they ensure that the raw material is also available as per the plan. So then we started measuring it, and we started publishing it to the global. So I was a part of global supply chain, so where every country will come and present their what they are doing and how they are progressing. There was a global SNOP meeting also happening with the global supply chain head. So with this thing, I made the supply chain totally seamless, and in fact, this was what I did in one organization. Similarly, in many organizations, see, what I believe, if you don't have a structure in place, nothing is going to work, because structure is very important and people should know what role he has to do. So if
Mm.
you don't have that role clarity and that proper org structure, so that is very important. So that is why many organization, actually we don't call it organizational structure, but organizational organogram. So, like organs if of our body, if I explain it to you that way, one of the organ does not work properly, the entire body will fall sick, right? Similarly, if in an organization, if any structure does not work properly, it is going to fall sick. So
Yeah.
this project which I did, and on that basis, I was awarded as the supply chain transformational leader in that event here. So in
So,
fact, just to add you, I
yeah.
am also a speaker in many forums, and
Oh, okay.
I take part in many events. Like I'm a speaker in many events that is happening all across the country.
Mm.
So I've got many other awards in that way. So
Our next question is, what piqued your interest in ESG and corporate governance?
see, ESG and corporate governance. If I say about ESG is
Mm.
something which is very close to my heart, and I have been like vocalizing it in all my events where I go. So,
Yes, sir.
because environmental and sustainability is something which it's now or never. So, we are got to that level. If we don't do now about the environment, then I think we would be the last generation who would be blamed for this. Because just to give you an example, so this example I have been giving in all the seminars where I speak, whether it is out of context, in context, I ensure I will say this. So there's a very beautiful ad. where what they do, they call the parents and the children together in one
Hmm.
room.
Hmm.
And what they will do, they will separate the children and the parents, and they will
Hmm.
ask the parent to go to one room, and they will give them one coloring sheet with the
Hmm.
scenery predefined sceneries printed on that, printed, and they will give them colors, and with that
Hmm.
color they have to paint that scenery. So the parents paint the scenery, then the parents come out, then with those colors they send the children now to the same
Hmm.
room with the same scenery. Okay, so now the children paint it. So then they display this. This is then they display this ad on the display screen. And what we see there, the parents' scenery are very beautiful, fully colorful. The sky is
Hmm.
blue, the grass is green, the bird is flying, the water is blue, everything is very colorful. But when the children have done the same drawing, so their sky is gray, their ground like grass is black in color, so their water is brown in color. So what actually it means? It means that we are utilizing all the resources and all the things of this world, and what we are leaving for our future generation is nothing but only the leftovers, and with the leftovers they will their world will be different, no? So this I say in all my events. The most people who come to listen to me, they know that I will say this. So, but this is has a very deep meaning that we, as an individual, sometimes we will always say, let the corporate do, let the government do, let other people do. But it is now that we have to take our stand and we have to do it. We have to be more concerned about the environment, because
Yes.
environment is something it cannot come back.
Yeah.
See, the trees, you cannot, there's no replacement for oxygen that is given by the tree. You cannot you wear that mask and breathe in future, right? So we have to have more trees. We have to have concern about the environment. We have to do our bit, dispose the waste properly, dry waste separate, waste separate. All those things we have to do. So similarly, this is what excites me most, and actually I want to do something for the environment because that is very close to my heart. In fact, I have said that to my children as well, and they are also very much concerned about the environment. So in my organization also we are doing a lot of things, like we have certain products like battery is
Hmm.
a highly contagious product because the lead, it has lead content, so it has to be disposed in a very proper way. So what we have done, we have tied up with vendors who are certified vendors. So we don't just give it to any XYZ vendors for when we are scrapping those batteries. So we have registered, who are registered vendors with the organization, with having all the licenses. So we deal with those kind of people for scrapping. Similarly, e-waste and all, we give it to those kind of people who are registered. We just
Hmm.
don't give to anybody. So these are the part, little bit of it, what we can do, we are doing. Plus, in most of our warehouses, we are trying to consume less of energy by putting transparent sheet on the top. Some places we are also going for solar electric generation. So we are trying to like separate waste, plastic waste separate, dry waste separate, all those things. So every little bit of it, see, every one of us have to make the effort now. If you don't do it now, it is going to be very late. See,
Yeah.
now the government part also, they are making BRSR reporting as part of your financial reporting. So government is trying to put all those things, but other than government organization, where I feel every one of us have to do our bit, and we have to do it in a very serious manner, not just do it like that. So that
Yeah.
excites me for ESG actually. And for corporate governance, yes, there are many case studies where the corporate governance, if it is not good, we have seen what has happened to many organizations. So you have to be very true to what you are doing, and you should have a proper system, checks and balances, maker checker, everything has to be there. So everything has to be happening in a healthy manner, and wherever you
Hmm.
find something not going in accordance, so we should be the ones who should be raising the alert, no? So
Yep.
that is what excites me to be part of the corporate governance as well as ESG. Yeah.
So, as an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table the most?
Yeah, this is what I said. Like, I am very much more considerate and more
Okay.
emotional. So, if something you do it in an emotional manner, the output is, I think, is going to be really
Yeah.
different. So that is where we should walk the talk. We just should
Hmm.
not be saying, because I've seen many people have been saying about it for
Yes.
last 10, 15 years, 20 years maybe. But nobody is actually owning it up, because the end of the day, again, it will go to profitability, cost of product, it will be expensive. So how long are we going to give these as excuses to
True.
have the liberty to destroy the world, right?
Very true.
So we have to be, somebody has to take up that flag, and like we have to show the people, no, enough is enough. Because if the world is not okay, then where are we going to stay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a very beautiful movie on this. If you can see that, it's an animated movie called Wall-E.
Okay.
Wall-E is a very beautiful movie which you can see. You can ask your children to see. In fact, everybody should see that movie, and there you will actually will see the emotion of what we have done to this earth in future.
Yeah.
Maybe it shows the future actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology, and what changes do you see in the future with the advent of all these new technologies like AI, ML, blockchain, Web 3.0, etc.?
See, like I said, our generation maybe have been the most uh, maybe most blessed generation to see all the transformation.
True.
We have seen, like I gave you the example of that ring wala phone to now mobile phone, because so, and the product also, if you see now we are talking about product where you need not switch on the product also. It is IoT based, so you can through Wi-Fi and you can control the, so in my earlier organization or this organization also, where you can control the on and off of the water heater. So you're
Hmm.
not, so you, when you start from office, you switch it on. By the time you come home, the water is ready, you go and take bath. So we are talking of those which at least I used to see in James Bond movies
Yes.
happening. Yeah. So now it is reality where you, like what we are doing now, we are chatting over Skype, Zoom.
Yeah.
And this we used to see in the movies, in James Bond movies a long time back.
Correct.
And now it's a reality, right? So supply chain, if you see, transformation has been immense, and technology is playing a really beautiful role in doing the predictive analysis. And earlier we used to do see the, so now we can predict the things. So it is
Hmm.
not that it is not only corrective analysis or preventive analysis. So those things have become past now. Now you predict. So you predict what is going to be the season, and you accordingly you how the season is going to last. So if you are a winter-based product, you can plan your stocks accordingly, right? So if you see it's a bad summer, so you can product which is a summer selling products, you can accordingly tweak your production and plan it accordingly. So like that, system has really playing a very important role, and like I used this forecasting thing, everything used to be earlier manual, where we used to take forecast from the people, they will fill in Excel, we will get it, and then we will do. But now we can do everything seamless on the system. So they put the forecast in the system will give you a statistical forecast or trend analysis, whatever you want to do basis that. So in a way you are also helping the guy who's making a forecast, that system is showing this is your forecast, and this is that you can make your corrections, and because you're closer to the market. So that way, see, now the forecasting process is correct, is right.
Hmm.
Everything starts with genesis of everything is the forecast. If the
Yeah.
forecast process is correct, then your backend procurement will be correct, your production will be correct. So you will be carrying less inventory. If your forecast is wrong, then only then what will happen? You will be having wrong inventory will be ordered wrong. Then you will be having huge pile of stock lying with you. Although, so these are the actually curses of supply chain. So system is really playing a very important role. Like I told you, forecasting is one area. Similarly, you see TMS, transport management system, where again system now, earlier it was all brain management system, which I will say. It was seeing it, we say, okay, itna load hai, so take a 5 gaadi bula lo. But now system is telling you which truck to call, which size of truck to call, which vendor to select. So I have made a TMS where you did not indent also. The indenting process, when you place an order, the system will calculate the type of vehicle. Accordingly, with that type of vehicle, the system will also know that who is my transporter, L1 transporter in this type of vehicle for this route. It will auto-generate an indent to the transporter, and transporter will get the message on his mobile as well as in his system. and he need to confirm the vehicle number and the details. And accordingly, next day when the vehicle is coming, so again I have made a get in app where the security guy will make the get in of that vehicle. So, and once the vehicle is loaded, then get out app will be he will be using to make the get out. So every measure, every activity is now measurable.
Yeah.
And with this, when I sit in a review with the transporter, so earlier days, the review used to be how many vehicle you placed and whether you reach in transit time or not. So now it is how many indented you accepted. So again, how many you placed, then what was your tat of placing the vehicle, then what was the tat of final delivery of the vehicle. So many data I'm generating because of
Yeah.
system. The system is helping the organization in the operation field in a beautiful way. Similarly, if you see in the warehouse, the stock keeping used to be again BMS, brand management system. So only the guy who was placing the material, he only knew where he has placed that material. And the day he was absent, it used to be a nightmare. Other guys may know it, may not know it. So it used to take some time. And again, retrieving of the material was taking time. Now with the advent of WMS, so everything is seamless. So your
Yeah.
system tells you the person where to go, where to pick, where to bring it. So everything is becoming seamless. So systems, AI, ML, everything is now really actually if you use it in the most productive manner, it is going to bring lot of efficiency in the system. And the best part of it, see, efficiency, you people talk about cost reduction and all those things. I said, don't worry about, you need not work on that. If in the operation, if we focus on cost wastage elimination only, okay, automatically the cost is going to come down. Oh, you need not go fight with everybody. You reduce cost. You renegotiate. Not that. First, you identify the wastage in your system.
Mm.
Which all area you are getting the wastages. So wastage you will only get to know if you start measuring the things. No, if you start measuring, you will know what is the wastage there, and you start thinking on eliminating these wastages. The moment you eliminate these wastages, your efficiency will improve, and in a way, your cost will come down. So you do not focus on cost in a पांच आदमी reduce कर दो आदमी बढ़ा दो. You do not do that.
Yeah.
You eliminate the wastage, things will work for you. So that is what I totally believe in. And with system, it is actually helping us do that. Identify those wastages and we can eliminate those wastages. So AI, ML, IoT, now all my products are barcoded. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's no discrepancy in stock now.
Mm.
So with the barcoding, it is like seamless. No, so if a person wants to by mistake, agar wo wants to send something else, he will not be able to send because system will not allow him. The
Mm.
moment he will do the scanning, it will stop him if he's sending
Yeah.
around. So by forcefully, you have to send the correct material. So you make the system, use the system in a proper manner, and the entire efficiency is yours.
True.
Yeah.
So, as you know, we're building a community here of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. What are your thoughts about this initiative by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole World Development Corporation team?
See, like I started with in the beginning with this only. So
Yeah.
I think this is a beautiful thing which he is doing, which was missing actually.
Hmm.
So we like why I go to seminars and in events because just to interact with people, just to
Yes.
know what is happening, what is the new trend that is coming, what is new thing that is going in the market because now the transformation is happening in a very double pace. So to
Hmm.
keep up with that pace, we actually this platform was needed. So there actually we come across mostly the vendors. So in the seminars and all, mostly the vendors are there who display their products, their capabilities. But again, sharing knowledge with industry experts, like if I'm a supply chain head of one organization, so if I'm meeting a supply chain head of another organization, so there we can share equal ideas. And in
Hmm.
fact, the initiative that Mr. Jishan and Heval has taken is really remarkable, where we can actually think of benchmarking our operations, right? We can think of benchmarking our cost. We can think of benchmarking many things, and we can think of what he is doing, I'm not doing. So, and what I am doing, he is not doing. So it can be a win-win situation for both of us. And in a way, end of the day, we are all collectively going to eliminate wastage. and we are going to have a better. So for our organization also, we are going to bring in a lot of value in terms of improving the bottom line of the organization, because supply chain cost directly hits the bottom line.
Yeah.
So we can also know, because then there's something which I dream of. I don't know whether it would be possible or not. Is the power of collective bargaining.
Okay.
Again, what is that? See, for example, I am there from representing my organization. There are few more supply chain heads. So we all collectively go, because they also need vehicle, I also need vehicle. If we collectively go and bargain with a vendor, for example, then the volume will be very big, and that
Yeah.
vendor also will be having, so we can have a better negotiation power,
True.
not only with vendors, for with transporters, with vendors, with so many things. So collective bargaining again will bring a lot of value to the system. This is something which I dream of. I don't know, but with the initiative they have taken, I think if we have more of event like this, people getting together in one place, doing brainstorming, collectively coming up together, then I think that will someday we will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, sir. It was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will greatly inspire future leaders. Thank you so much for joining us today and wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute unquestionably has expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Yeah,
Thank you so
definitely,
much, sir.
definitely. I endorse you completely. Yeah. Yeah.
Have a
Thank you
great
so
day
much.
ahead, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.